Okay, so you got him on three-way. Hey, Adrian, and I was going to introduce you guys to Adrian as well because he's very hilarious too, and he's definitely he gives you the intellectual side of things, and he just we have you online. Can you introduce yourself to the people out there and tell them a little bit about your platform and how you got started?
Well, my name is Adrian Expression on basically every platform. How I got started, really, when I was younger, I kind of struggled to accept who I was and accept myself, and I turned to YouTube and kind of like online personalities and stuff, and started living in their truth and embracing who they were. So it kind of gave me hope. So I'm hoping that I can use what I have, to return the favor, and also, educating people on, and myself, honestly, on the issues that we are facing as Black people, as LGBT people. But yeah, that's really about me.
Okay, and I think it's really good to see intelligent brothers like you, especially intelligent gay Black men out here expressing themselves and bringing some of these issues that you talk about to light, because so long we've had so many stereotypes against not only just the gay community in general, but just young Black men, and it's really good to see that you guys are using your platform to reach out to especially the younger gays, because let's just be honest with everybody. We don't really have that many gay icons or gay role models that we can look up to. So it's really good to see that you guys are out here, shedding a light on issues and stuff like that. And especially because I know you guys are in Atlanta, right? So that's pretty much one of the biggest, that's like a gay Black mecca here in the United States. So it's really good to see that someone's really speaking out on a lot of issues. One of the things I wanted to ask you guys about is, as far as being content creators on YouTube, can you speak to me about like the politics in the YouTube community? Like it's especially like in the Black blogosphere, like the gay blogosphere. Like, do you think there is like politics in the gay Black circuit? I mean, or just the Black circuit in general on YouTube?
Hey, you want to answer that first, or you want me to go first?
I know y'all ready to go in. Let half.
I definitely do think that there is in everything there is politics. There is politics, but I think that the difference in audiences, or the differences that I would like to think that my audience has, just speaking for me personally, is that they separate. Okay, this person is speaking the truth, and they don't worry about the politics of whatever may be going on. So if truth and substance and quality is what they're after, a lot of times the politics and the unwritten rules don't hold that much weight. If you establish yourself in a certain way, if that makes sense. But there is politics.
Oh yes.
Take away from that.
Yeah.
I think there's most definitely, like Adrian said, there's plenty of politics that goes into a lot of what we do. As far as like creating content, because as we grow and our brands expand, we become in contact and network with people who do the same thing as us, and they reach out, and we have some type of relationship and things. But sometimes, maybe once or twice or whatever, they might say something, or they might be in the news, and we have to talk about that situation, or something might have happened where, a situation or something they might be in, and people are asking us, what do we feel about that? Well, this person might have said something that was problematic.
Right.
Justin, are you going to address this? Or are you going to talk about this? Are you going to talk about this? So, and then it's like, I'm not going to talk about this because this person, I know personally, so I don't want to seem nasty, so I'm not going to talk about them. But depending on the situation, what it is, I might have to. So, and that's what celebrities do, because there are some celebrities that who follow me on Instagram as well, and social media, and Twitter and Facebook or whatever, and they might not like that I might have said something about them. But I have to be honest, because at the end of the day, I owe everything to the people who watch me and who've been following me, to be honest. And I owe everything to them and not the people who have just gotten to know me probably last week.
Right.
So that's a good point.
So do you guys, I noticed that you guys, because I've really followed both of you guys, and I noticed you guys kind of like, do you guys coordinate on as far as like topics you guys are going to discuss and stuff like that? Do you guys kind of work together? Like, would you consider yourself like, you know, like a sister channel of each other?
No. Well,
do you mean like separately or together? Are you talking about like as a unit?
Yeah, like do you guys kind of
individual brand?
Yeah, like do you guys are you guys like sister channels? Like, you know how you I mean, you guys have your separate channels, but you guys are kind of like part of a network. You kind of you see what I'm saying?
Well, I would consider For the Culture podcast to be kind of what you're like
talking
about. For our individual channels, we like to focus on. I would like to think we like to focus on just what we would like to talk about. But I mean, we saw that what we like to talk about coincided so much, so we decided to build the brand that is now For the Culture podcast. So that's where a lot of the cooperation happens usually.
Mm-hmm.
Our channels are just usually our channels.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like you said, we're two separate brands, but like when we're together, it's amazing. But we do talk everything. We talk every day. Like, this is not a situation like where we just talk when we're getting ready to do the show. We'll talk about certain situations. We'll think, but we'll bounce ideas. We'll have a conversation, but we don't kind of like, we don't always agree on things, but we'll just like be enlightened. And then whatever we're talking, like Adrian might talk about something that I've not, heard about, and I might talk about something that he hasn't, and we just share those ideas. But we make sure that we're covering the things that we like on our individual brands. So when we're together, we're talking about both of those at the same under the same umbrella, and both of our fans are listening and hearing both our sides and how we feel about both situations. Because we've talked about both situations. So I know what he's talking about. Now, we don't watch each other's content and after we've already talked about it. Because Adrian covers something that has happened, like let's say he talks about Quincy Jones and the tea he has spilled. I won't watch Adrian's videos talking about it. I won't read if he said anything about it. I will have a conversation with him about it. But we'll wait till we're together to have a full conversation about it on the podcast.
So, as far as like any advice for like any up and coming content creators, what would you tell them as far as like branding and like networking and just pretty much staying positive? What advice would you give them, like if they're looking to get into this?
I would say there are two important things. One, I got from Issa Rae, which is you don't want to work. What did she say? Don't work vertically, work horizontally. In other words, don't try to look for the huge YouTubers who have millions of subscribers for collaboration. Look around you, look for the creators around you who are also building brands, and you guys can build brands together. And the second thing I would say is to just make sure that what you're doing, no matter if it's a beauty channel, whatever it is, make sure it's true to who you are, so you won't hate how you look online, so you won't hate the fact that you won't hate what you got yourself into, and you won't seem like a fraud. Make sure that it actually represents who you are, and just keep the work ethic up. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. So, yeah, those are my tips.
All right.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. Like you just need to think. I think staying consistent is very important. And if you are interested in doing that, creating content, no matter what it is, you need to be focusing on creating content first and making money last. Because in the beginning, if you focus more on money, you're not going to be as creative, because you're going to try to figure out how you can be like somebody else that's already successful.
Well, authentic,
to copy what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be authentic, and people can pick up on that So you have to do it because you love it, because it might not pop off. It might take 3 or 4 years. There is no like quick like come up. I mean, you could do some reaction videos and stuff, and maybe they'll get some attention. But you can do something. But is it going to be for the long term, or are you going to be just stuck on YouTube and not have an actual voice?
Yeah.
But just like a quick setup for something for people to like, and they don't know you as an individual.
Right. I'm gonna tell you, like I love because I've really seen how you've evolved, especially particularly you two. I mean, Justin, I've seen how you evolved, where you used to do the old school Justin J videos where you would just roast and just go in with the black V-neck and all that stuff. And I like how you evolved over time and kind of made it more polished and, you know, just made it a marketable brand. And I really admire that. And I like how you've done that too, Adrian. So I've really seen both of you guys evolve over time, and it's a really positive thing and a really good look. I want to once again.
So are you calling me ghetto? Is that what you're trying to say?
Nah.
Trying to say I was ghetto at one point? I think that's what you're trying to allude to.
Nah, I'm not saying that. Nah, I'm not saying that. But I just really I like the look. I just like how everything is just really. I love the presentation. It's really crisp, really clean. You know, I can tell you guys put a lot of hard work into what you do. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't go unnoticed. A lot of people notice that stuff. You know, and I feel that's probably why you guys have really popped off, because I noticed with me just being a viewer. I mean, you know, I follow a lot of people. And to me, it makes you feel as a viewer that the content creators care about you when they put effort into their content. You know what I'm saying? And making sure everything is edited down and everything looks good. And, you know, they're giving you raw, you know, uncut, unadulterated, you know, honesty. Like, you know, they're keeping it 100 with you. And I think a lot of people appreciate that about you guys. So I just wanted to throw out again, you guys can call in at 646-915-8200. You can listen in on the line. We're going to probably be taking calls here in the next 30 minutes, but we just want to build up the queue and stuff like that. I know I have a lot of people following on my Facebook Live right now, and I want to thank everybody for joining in. Once again, for those that are just joining, we have Justin J and Adrian expressions from YouTube, two YouTube personalities that are doing real big things right now. You can follow them on YouTube, and they also have a podcast out called For the Culture Podcast, and you guys can get it on iTunes, right? You can get it on iTunes, and what platforms can they download it from right now?
Well, to get all that information, you can go to fortheculturepodcast.com.
Okay.
And you can look at, we're on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud.
Okay.
So yeah, fortheculturepodcast.com is the easiest way to get to it.
Okay. Now, while we got you online, we're going to talk about, you know, just different topics and stuff like that. And I just kind of want to get your guys' opinion on it. And then we're going to open up the lines later and see what, you know, other people have to add to the discussion. As far as the LGBT community is concerned, one topic I want to talk about is HIV awareness and just the stigma in 2018. Do you think that the stigma has gotten better? And do you think that people are now becoming more educated? Because I know that you guys are in ATL, and I know there's this rumor out there, you know, HIV is like running amok down there. But do you think people are becoming more aware and becoming more educated about the virus? And, you know, and do you think that there's still like a really negative stigma behind the condition?
I think there is a big stigma around Atlanta. I think Atlanta, they call it the Black Gay Mecca. I guess that means that Atlanta is like the capital of all, where all the gays go, but it's where all the Black gays go. But Atlanta is the Black Mecca first, and I think that gay men migrate here to try to grow and try to work on whatever they're working on and expand or whatever they're doing. I think there is a lot of stigma, but I think Atlanta gets it bad. But Atlanta has a lot of resources and a lot of organizations that cater toward Black gay men. And I think that although we get a lot of heat, there's a lot of places that like men in Atlanta can go to get assistance and stuff. But I think that the other cities around Atlanta kind of suffer a little bit because they don't get that same attention and things. So I think, the stigma I think it's gotten a little bit better, because I remember once that I was one of those individuals who made certain jokes and things, but I know on my platform, as well as others, I have talked about the stigma and how we can, work and fix and make people think about some of the words and stuff they use. And I've seen some things change because I've been able to, touch some people and make them think about the things they say,
right,
or how it affects everybody and us as a group of individuals together.
Yeah, and I feel that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh no. No. Well, I was going to say that I do think that there's heavy stigma still around, but like Justin said, in the face of that, we have all these, like a lot of these resources, and people becoming more aware of the fact that they can go places to get certain services. It is an improvement while there still is stigma around.
And I noticed, like, and I'm glad people are now starting to see finally in 2018, it's not just a gay issue. It's not a gay disease. It doesn't know color. It doesn't know creed. It doesn't know sexual orientation, gender, none of that. It affects all walks of life. And I think that now that people are now seeing that, I believe people are becoming more educated there. And, and there's also a lot of education out there now of how to prevent from even getting this disease. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really glad to see that it's something that we're starting to become more open to. I know there was an issue down there in Atlanta because I've seen several videos about it a couple years ago about a certain individual that was spreading this person's status around. And to me, like, do you think that the issues like that, where people are out here exposing people, do you think that that kind of contributes to people not wanting to divulge their HIV status or even going to get tested when you have that type of negativity being put out there? Do you think that that contributes to that?
I think another person knows the situation you're talking about, and I remember that, and I was a little bit disappointed at how that was handled. I'm trying to understand. Can you repeat your last question one more time?
I was just asking, do you think that that contributes to a lot of people not wanting to even get tested or divulging their status to people when you have individuals like that out there that are doing stuff like that?
Oh, absolutely. That happens a lot. And it continues the stigma. And that's it's something that we do. We make sure that we have those type of conversations so we can, kind of destroy the stigma, because it's not actual HIV, the virus that is killing gay men or anyone who's HIV positive. It is the stigma around it, because the stigma creates this thought of, I'm not good enough, I'm dirty, I'm this, I don't need to talk about it. If I don't talk about it, if I don't go get tested, if I don't know, then I am negative. Because the moment I know it, the moment I am dead. So I think that plays a lot into how people, view HIV. It's negatively, but it's not a death sentence. We hear that, but when you hear people say, expose folks and say things like, oh, bitch, she gonna be dead next week or something like that, people are not interested in sharing their status and things. So you get it a lot, because I try to tell everybody, if you're a gay black man and you are sexually active, but no matter how sexually active you are, it could be a little sexually active,
right?
Be a lot. Your chances of you being sexual, like being have dated or talked to someone who is HIV positive as well, is high. So we are doing ourselves a disservice when we're continuing this stigma and saying, you know, like crazy and ill-informed comments around HIV and sexual health.
Yeah.
And also, I think that it's not just a stigma around HIV, like it's a stigma around sex.
Yes.
And if we can't talk about sex, if we're like iffy about, you know, talking about sex, we can't talk about protection. And then we're scared about talking about our status. We're scared about talking about, you know, sexual health. So I think, I mean, that's why, at least on my platforms, I try to be sex positive, because if we can first talk about the sex that we're all obviously having, we can first talk about that, then we can talk about protection, you know? It'll be easier to talk about protection and have different conversations.
And it's good, I feel, too.
Absolutely.
And I feel that it's good to be open with your partner, too, because a lot of times you don't have to be really out here being promiscuous. You have to know who you're with, too, because you never know. You could be with somebody that is out here doing any and everything under the sun, and they're exposing you to stuff. That's why I tell a lot of women, like, don't get caught up in, especially, and that's another topic I want to get on to next, is about the whole downlow phenomenon. About, you you hear about it all the time, and I kind of hate that they've put a black face on this, like it's a black issue, when the download is something that affects all walks of life and all races and creeds and all that. But like I tell, like a lot of my female friends, you need to ask questions. You need to know a man's sexual history. You don't be naive and think it can't happen to you, to where a man is not, he's out here doing it any and everything with men and women. You have to get yourself tested, get him tested, make it a collective effort to go get tested. You know what I'm saying? Together. And you have to keep an open dialogue with each other, because a lot of women that say, "Oh, my man would never do that punk shit. He don't get down like that," and this, that, and the other. But them be the first ones that be in somebody's clinic on the dorm floor, rolling around crying because they done found out they HIV positive. And we have to be looking at this from a realistic point of view. Like, this is something that can affect anybody. You can have people in your family that's dealing with this. And that's why I said we have to be open and honest and just being loving towards each other, so people can feel that there's somebody out there, people that are dealing with that or dealing with sexuality in general. Like, you want to make them feel that they can come to you and feel comfortable in expressing themselves, because that's what, like you said earlier, that's what's killing people. You know what I'm saying? They don't feel like they have an out. They don't have any resources or anybody they can go to express themselves. So I really think that that's a really pertinent issue that we need to be addressing, not only as a gay black community, but just the black community in general. So yeah. The next issue I want to ask you about is religion and how that has, I know y'all got a lot to say about this. I've seen some of y'all commentaries about it, because I see how religion has oppressed us as a people, especially the gay black community, because you have a lot of these, well, I call them church queens, that will sit under a teacher. They will sit under somebody that's preaching against homosexuality, and they're sitting up here running the church, bringing the church money, you know what I'm saying, directing the choirs, getting the wardrobes together, and this, that, and the other. And it's almost like a slave master type of relationship, like where you use and abuse the slave, but they're the ones that's bringing you in capital. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah. I just think it's interesting. in this recent episode of Black Lightning, I'm not sure if you saw it, but this police officer, he's black. He walks up to a black reverend, and they have it out, and the reverend was criticizing the black police officer, but then the black police officer was like, I'm the one on the street, you know, getting this work done, and you're walking around in these people tithes and offering, you know, and while these people are struggling. So I think, like you said, it's kind of like a slave master mentality where, I don't know, maybe people, I'm not trying to say like every piece of religion, I mean, you treat people well, whatever, but like the oppressive nature of the church, I think that that's dangerous. I think
very dangerous. And like, and I hate to bring this back up. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. As far as me, the church has done. I'll be honest. I just don't think. I think the church is. I think it's pump and circumstance. I think it's cute. It makes us feel good, but it really doesn't serve a purpose as far as like actually doing work. It makes it seem like it's doing work because it's like a mental thing. Like I feel empowered, but the church can do much. I think the religion period is garbage. I just think the religion. I think religion is stupid as shit.
And I mean, and people need to be more spiritual and less religious, because religion ain't doing nothing but. Oh man, it's so many directions we can go with this. Like I've seen people
but
that
even when we say spiritual, I feel like that's the pop out. People say, "Oh, I'm spiritual. I'm not religious." I think that's just the soft, like, "Oh, I'm not one of those Christians."
Right.
But it's still, I believe in a higher power. But we're still giving that higher power a gender. We're still giving it ultimately.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me when people explain to me how they believe in a higher power and they're seeing the things that are going on. And they're like, this person is this whoever, this energy, this universe or whatever, is seeing and allowing the things to happen, but they're not doing shit about it. But they have a definition of how powerful they are and what they see and what they believe in. But the shit doesn't make sense when you have people are killing themselves because, they're not sure who they are. You have people who are starving. You have people who are going through this and that. It just doesn't make any sense. So either, like someone like Dr. DeGrasse Tyson, I don't know if people listen to him. He's an astrophysicist, and he talks a lot. He said either God is not all powerful or he's not all that good. And it makes perfect sense because it's just like, you have the power to make us change and make things happen. Why don't you use it? So if you do have the power, but you're not all that good. And if you are all that good, that means you don't have no power. And I need to speak to the supervisor because you're not a general manager.
Not the supervisor now.
I need to speak to the real boss. I need to be talking to you.
But you know what, y'all? I was gonna get y'all opinion on this. Like I've noticed, like a lot of people have put so much into religion to where they are willing to sacrifice their own damn children. Like, it's just a dang on shame that people are willing to remain silent. And that's why I said, man, it's almost like a cult. Like it's just like it's worse than that damn show American Horror Story Cult. Like, because I know some of these people that go to these damn churches, they bring their children, they let the children stay with the pastor. And I was just having a conversation with my cousin, and I talked to DeMario Jives too. Shout out to him because I talk to him on the phone sometimes, and I watch his videos about a lot of this stuff.
Oh, he's from Memphis.
Yeah. Memphis. And we talk about how like
get me pregnant.
But yeah, we talk about that. How
I'm not gonna be too messy.
Ooh, wait, I'm gonna take a sip on that real quick. But but now, like, as far as just like these people are sacrificing their kids in the church. Like, you know, it's ridiculous. And these same people like the whole Bishop Eddie Long situation, like everybody was just so shocked about that. But this stuff has been going on for years. Like anybody that's grown up in the church and that's been a part of ministry and stuff like that, this stuff ain't just started. He was just like one of the first people where they in the mainstream, like where they brought this out. But this stuff has been going on for ages, and people are so brainwashed by religion. They'll just have this mindset Jesus is going to work it out after a while. We just don't have to pray about it and put our trust in God. You know, I know the pastor was wrong. I know the pastor that stole the money. I know the pastor that tried to sleep with my little boy and my little girl. He done got my daughter pregnant and everything under the sun. But we just going to put it in the Lord's hand and let him work it out. I said, you know what, it's time out for that bullshit. Like it really is. Like we really have to open our eyes as a people and realize that religion has always held us captive in this country. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this same religion that was given to us, like, have you ever wondered why, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this religion that was given us, why isn't it the dominant society? Why aren't they following these same principles? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't they, you know, they're not thinking about it because it was something that was given to us to keep us in control.
It's just social, honestly, it's social control. And I mean, they used to use religion. I say this all the time. They used to use religion to defend slavery.
Right.
And honestly, if you look at the differences between if you go to a black church, what the gospel songs will be about there versus if you go to a predominantly white church, the predominantly black church, a lot of the gospel songs are just like they praying for increase. Lord bless me. I need some more. I need some money. Somebody bless me. Father, the Lord bless me. But if you see the stark differences from what they sing about or what they worry about the white church. So it's just like, if the church is really supposed to be this powerful, why are so many minorities underserved to the point that you can see it in the songs that they sing?
Right, right.
Praise is what I do. When we celebrate, but to be honest, me and Adrian said this many times on the podcast, we are not an ordinary podcast. We are not those individuals who want to be, oh my gosh, we believe in church and God is good. We're going to tell you the truth. We want you to think. We want to challenge you to think. We want you to go and think about this shit that you're doing. We want you to think about why you want your church every Sunday and you're tap dancing and shit.
And give them your damn money, your hard-earned money.
We want you all to think I'm not doing shit to make anybody feel good. I'm doing shit to make them think so they can do good, so they can take the power and start expecting some other higher power to make decisions on their lives. We know that white fucking supremacy is rampant, and I honestly believe that Christianity is rooted in white supremacy is rooted in fucking Christianity, and I want people to understand that. And there's nothing wrong with, you know what, I understand that there was something forced upon me, but this is what I do for my sanity. But I want people to think there is not going to be no white man in the sky with a white beard and a white fucking face. If that is right next to the sun and not being melted like motherfucking poor fucking milk, that's just not going to happen. Like, he's not sitting up there making sure black people are okay, because if that was the case, black people would not be going through the bullshit they're going through now.
You're right about that.
Considering how black people praise, considering how black people praise and worship and stuff, black people show like energy when they praise. White people have church for 30 minutes and they good. And they credit good. Black folks be in church from sun up to sundown every day, giving all their pennies and dollars and stuff. White folks be there for 15 minutes, singing off key. Black folks singing high praise and stuff. And see, I don't get it. I don't get it. I really feel like he's sucking the energy out of black Christians and giving it to white Christians. That's what I think. Yep.
And you know what? On that topic, baby, I'm telling you, because these churches are a mess. I'm telling you, like, let me tell you, like, it's been so many doing video servicing of the foolishness going on in church. Did y'all see that video? And I know I know both of y'all did videos on this about that woman that went up to the church asking talking about she was sucking some dick or something like that, licking some balls or something. What she say? Now, girl, let me tell you, this is the foolishness that's going on in these churches. Like, seriously, like, this is what's really going on. But this is my thing. If y'all was really about, all jokes to stop, because, you know, when I first saw that video, you know, we all got our life. You know, we laughed and thought it was funny. But what was disappointing was that they knew that this woman obviously had some type of mental issue, and she was honestly trying to cry out for some help. And the way that it just kind of just brushed her off, like, they could have been like, you know, and I don't blame them for taking a mic from her, because, you know, you could have had kids in the church listening to that, but you could have pulled that sister to the side and been like, you know, we're going to try to get you some help after church, because you obviously need some resources, or something's not right. You know what I'm saying? And the church is.
I think the thing is, that was just the result of their usual behavior. They probably already knew that she had trouble. They probably he was already hesitant with the mic from the first time she started talking. So he probably already knew what was going on. It's just there's, as usual, they ignore a problem and they expect for a new day, a new dawn to come, and it will change magically. I just think they just ignored the problem. They're just like, whatever. But honestly, if, like we're talking about, the kids might have heard it. The kids are probably hearing worse that a white man in the clouds are going to save them, and make them a better person. Like, that's worse than hearing somebody come up and they're going to suck dick and stuff, all that type of stuff. To be honest, I mean, you're giving them a false narrative, like there is a real Santa Claus. If you stay in church and go to church every Sunday and praise is what I do, he's going to make sure that you are right. No, he's not. Not with these white people running rapid and committing genocide and all this type of shit.
Killing people with no impunity. Yeah, you right about that.
With no care in the world. So I think hearing about dick and balls is the last that the kids need to be like shielded from, to be honest. They need to know what type of world we in.
Yeah, that's true. You right about that.
Nothing wrong with that, but
yeah, you right about that.
But I understand sex. I understand, you know, when it comes to sex and all that type of stuff. But you cannot shield kids from some stuff, but they'll be okay with other things. And you expose them to something that they don't. You're not even giving them a choice. And I want parents to understand that. Are you giving your child a choice when you take them to church? And you tell them, like, are you telling them, like, look, this is what I praise, this is what I do, this is how I celebrate, or whatever, this is how I praise and do worship, but you can go on and do your own thing. But this is what I do. Are we giving children a choice to define what it is, or are we just introducing them to something because we've been taught and our forefathers have been taught? So, so that's not the good point. That's a good point.
All right. I'll have about, let me count about 4 or 5 little quick topics I want to get on, and then we're going to open up the line, because I really enjoyed this conversation. Like, this is really good. Do you think there is racism in the, this is going to be a 2-part question. Do you think that there is racism in the gay community, in the LGBT community, and what are the differences between the gay black experience and the gay white experience? And I would like for you guys to speak on that cultural divide.
That's a good.
Because I'm telling you, I've been noticing it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I went to a PWI, so I know. I don't know. I don't know what to call it, but I guess you can refer to it as the gay white experience. In a lot of those spaces, you're either not wanted or you're fetishized. It's very rarely that it's in between. That's what I found, at least in that experience. It's the same usual. I don't know. In a lot of spaces, it's the same usual. You know, no math, no fam. What do they say? No fast. The white spaces, no black, no Asian. Those are a few of the very detrimental parts of both of those communities.
I Well, I didn't go to PWI. I did not go to HBCU either, but there is clearly racism. I've never experienced that. I don't date black men. I don't date this. I have seen people say that I don't talk to no fat, no femmes, or such and such, but I think there's clearly racism in it. And like Adrian said, there is fetishization, or I don't want you. And I purposely do not date unless a white man comes to me directly. I just do not date non-black individuals. I just don't even, when I'm on Tinder or any other, I just swipe left. I don't have time to be wasting my likes because I'm not signing up for a premium account with Tinder anyway. So I'm swiping left on all white men. They can message me and they can offer, they can, bow to me and whatever, but that's it. I'm not, you're not going to fetishize me.
Right.
You're not going to deny me. But if a white, I'm not against interracial dating, but there is an extra amount of work to talk to a person,
that is true.
Piece of milk or for cheese. So there's a lot of work that goes with talking to dairy products.
Now let me ask y'all: do y'all think it's a difference between preference and just being all out just bigoted? Because I've noticed on a lot of these dating websites, they'll talk about no, like you said, there's no fat, no films.
What dating website you on?
Huh? I can't.
What dating website are you?
Well, I'm just talking about was now because I'm taking off the market. I'm just saying, but I'm just saying.
I'm so question like, hey, how do you know? How are you doing these research studies?
I know firsthand. I do my own research, but now I notice how they say no Asians, no blacks, no, like, do you think, I believe it's okay to have a preference, but what I have a problem with is when you start treating people and just not even want to get to know them as individuals or even have friends of different backgrounds. Like, to me, that's, I just feel it's really a fine line. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, just the lack of sensitivity amongst gay men sometimes, it's ridiculous because, like, we'll sit up there and expect society to accept us and to, we're like a part of a firing squad. You know what I'm saying? We go to these pride events, we talk all this stuff, we have these forums where we talk about unity in the gay community, but when it's all done, we ain't no different than the church people. We go right back out here. We throw each other on the bus. We can't get along. I don't like this bitch over here because she's a bear, or she's a twink, or he's femme. He's this, that, and the other. Like, I just feel like a lot of times there's a lot of hypocrisy in the gay community, and how can we expect society to care about us and care about our plight when we don't even care about one another? We can't even put our petty differences aside to get some stuff passed, get things done. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel that as far as the whole thing is concerned about bigotry versus preference, I think it's a fine line, and I think a lot of people cross it and they don't even care.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between, there is definitely a difference between preference and bigotry, but I think that it all ties down to, it all comes down to unpacking everything. So you have this preference, but I think you have to ask yourself, okay, why do I have this preference? Like,
yeah,
why do I find certain qualities in certain people more attractive than others? And if that's, a lot of things have come from the unwritten rules of white supremacy and brainwashing and stuff like that. So, a lot of times when you sit down and think about these preferences, they may tie into that, and I think that's where you start getting into danger.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful of that because it happens. A lot of things that we've learned is socialized, and a lot of things that we dislike, but a lot of things that we do like is close to whiteness. A lot of things, straight hair, certain skin complexions, this and that. Even when it comes to education, like somebody true wealth or like all that, like it's close to whiteness as possible. And we've been taught this. So it's going to take a lot of, like Adrian said, unpacking for us to understand that we live in a white supremacist world. And you have to understand, like, there's nothing wrong with the way that you look.
Right.
So if you don't find somebody who looks like you, if I don't find a person of color, a black person, attractive, there's something wrong. I need to find someone who looks like me attractive. And I think that some people disguise preferences as racism. And it really needs to be talked about. Now, we can all have our preferences, but you have to understand why. And I think that you need to not deny that there's beauty in this individual. So if I'm not interested in someone who doesn't know their multiplication, I don't need to say that on any social media platform that I don't like men who don't know this. I don't like men that don't have this. I need to be more interested in telling, you know, what this is what I do like. You know, I just want to meet somebody. But when you're constantly putting up, like, I don't like Asians, I don't like that, I don't like Asians, I don't like this, it's kind of telling about your personality.
It's very tacky too. Very tacky.
You're more worried about telling something. You're more worried about telling the things that you don't like rather than, you know, trying to get them to know a person. I think that's like very problematic. And I see it a lot on social media, but I always, you know, make sure to have a conversation about that and make sure we understand that this shit is trash.
And that's a good thing, because that leads into the topic of colorism too, because I'm really, that's one thing I'm really like, you know, you could say a lot of bad things about, you know, reality TV and this, that, and the other, but I'm really glad to see that some of these shows are really delving into the topic of colorism, because it's something that we don't like to admit that it goes on, and it's not just the black community. Like, come to find out, it happens in the Latino community, the Hispanic community, the Asian community. Yeah. So this whole thing with hatred, self-hatred, it's real. Like, and it goes so deep. You know, it's generational. You know what I'm saying? But I got a couple more things. What do you guys think about as far as politics? What do you think about the whole Trump administration? Do you think that Trump's administration is trash? Like, do y'all feel that everything that we've seen is trash from Trump?
That's the only thing they know how to produce is trash.
Ooh.
White trash.
Ooh, child.
Yeah, I mean, of course it is. Of course, I mean, every day we turn on the news, I think a lot of people are becoming depressed from the oppression of the Trump administration. Every time you turn on our phone, this is happening. I mean, right now, the Trump administration is interested in spending about $20 or a couple of $1 million on a military parade, and they're trying to disguise it as they're trying to celebrate the military, but we know it's a support the commander-in-chief type of situation. We are not South Korea. We are not North Korea. We're not any of those. We don't do that type of stuff. So that is what we are, in a dictatorship. And white people are okay with that. Evangelicals are okay with that. They don't care because Christianity is rooted in the white community. So I don't understand when people are shocked to say these evangelicals, these Christians are okay with Trump. He doesn't go to church. We've never seen him go to church on the Sunday. Even when he needs to speak on church or the Bible, he has to read it from a teleprompter. The only time he does not need a teleprompter is when he's speaking from a place of hatred.
Right.
He does, because it just comes second nature.
Straight from his heart.
Yeah, it comes straight from his heart. But when it needs to be something of love, he needs to read the teleprompter. He needs somebody to coerce him to speak on whatever. And we've not gotten a continuous trash every week, every day. And at this point, I'm not surprised, but I don't want it to be normalized.
And check this out. And check this out, Justin.
It happens.
And check this out. And what's so messed up about it, because you brought up a good point. like you have these white evangelical preachers like Paula White that endorsed this man. What is there about this man that is anything like what? There's nothing Christ-like about his behavior and his conduct. Like, and then the messed up part about this Paula White is you preach, you're a pastor over a predominantly black church. So these black people are bringing you their hard-earned money. They're supporting you, going to your ministry every Sunday, and you sitting up here endorsing a man that goes against all of their self-interest. Like, why would you do that? Like, that's crazy. And you still got these black people that's probably sitting up in that church, these brainwashed Negroes sitting up in that church, still supporting this woman after she has blatantly disrespected you guys by endorsing somebody like that. But that's how it always is. They've always used us. They've always came in and milked us dry and threw us out like yesterday's garbage. That's all they do. That's the only thing they know how to do with us. And we keep going along with the bullshit. And it's sad. It's sad. It don't make no kind of sense. It don't. It don't.
It's bullshit.
Sure enough. All right.
Yeah, it's garbage. It's garbage. We all know that.
Yeah. So as far as what's going on in the entertainment, is there anything that you guys are seeing right now? Because I know a lot. The big topic right now, and I've been seeing several people talk about this, is as far as the Queen's Court and just the whole Monique situation. Like, I just. Ooh. Is Portia on the line? Is that Portia? Hey, man. Because, girl, let me tell you, like, I don't know. I just feel really bad. And that's another thing. I noticed there's a lot of opportunists. Like, and this just brings up a whole lot of topics. Like, you have to be careful who you have to know who you dealing with, and you have to be equally yoked with people, especially if you partnering with them, because you can't have somebody that's putting in all the work, putting in the effort, and the person that you in business with, or you trying to do something with, they're not equally yoked, or they're not trying to put in as much resources and effort as you are. I'm just saying, like, but we can just we have to use situations like this as a learning tool. We have to, because like, a lot of people been saying stuff, and it goes to show you too, like, there's a lot of people in the gay community, like a lot of queens, that they blindly follow anybody. Like, and I have my own mind. I say how I feel. I've always seen Kaya as a opportunist. She don't give a shit about gay people.
Are you in the community?
Huh?
Are you in the community?
Oh, yes.
You're in the community too?
Oh, yes, honey, yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, no. We need to. I don't. What part of the community are you? I'm going to be investigating now. What part of the community? What letter are you using? I'm interested.
What'd you say?
I'm curious.
You said what?
What part of the letter are you using? What we have LGBTQ.
Honey, I'm gay. Honey, I'm gay, and honey, my man is listening now. Jonathan Crockett. Oh, he's at work tonight. He's listening live. Well, I ain't gonna put where he's working.
Are you serious? I thought you were married to a woman. Did everybody get quiet? I'm trying to see what to see. Because I'm gonna pull up Jonathan Crockett on Facebook. I feel like there's some people who made pancakes with him. Is that a real person?
So y'all thought I was the trade. Y'all thought I was trade. Y'all thought I was y'all thought I was straight trade.
No.
Oh. No.
No, I heard it. I don't know what. I thought Justin knew. I heard it. I didn't know. I thought he was in a relationship with a whole woman. I honestly didn't know. Honestly, so I was like, I was confused. So I'm shook. Yeah, he over here bringing the bacon. That's cute. But the Queen's Court. What can we say about the Queen's Court? It was a teaching moment to secure your brand and secure your wig. And to secure your platform.
Not your wig.
No matter what that is. The Queen's Court There's so much to say about it.
Honestly, my main concern is just Kaya. Kaya does not
ain't feeling
the right way at all. I've never been a fan of her.
She doesn't even rub her toothbrush the right way.
Ooh. She doesn't. She really doesn't. It's not.
Shame,
that's not to say that she's not. She can't be funny. Of course, anybody can be funny. But it's just the consistent, like being problematic so consistently, especially being homophobic and transphobic while sitting next to someone who is trans. I thought that was especially trash, especially being homophobic to in front of a fan base who's mostly gay. It didn't make any sense to me.
You eating off of them.
Most of my problem was with Kaya.
He said he's eating off of them.
She's eating off the gay community. She is. Like, how you gonna sit there and say problematic stuff about the gays and the trans people, but you eating off of us? Like, Madison was fine before she linked up with you. She was more relevant than Kaya. Like, she had more followers on social media than Kaya. So if anybody, I just wish T.S. Madison would get through her mind that she'll be fine with or without her. You know what I'm saying? She'll do okay. The Queen's Court will go on. The Queen's Court will be fine. Like, cause Kaya's been doing blogs and doing celebrity roasts and all this stuff. Ain't nobody been checking for her. But until she linked up with Madison, that's when it popped off. So my thing is, I just wish T.S. Madison would get her self-esteem together and realize that you are a beautiful person inside and out. You don't need nobody riding your coattail that's just there to take from you. You know?
Take. And if it wasn't for T.S. Madison, Kaya would even be able to even buy a toothpaste for her big ass, they built ass teeth. And I love T.S. Madison. We've met T.S. Madison. We moderated a panel that she was on, and she did phenomenal. But Kaya, I think the Queen's Court is sort of like the Breakfast Club, if you want to say. And I think they are important because they're not going anywhere. But I think that we have to hold them accountable and make them have the conversation, the correct conversation with the platform that they have. I think that's why they're going to always get it, because with great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man type of tease. They can't, like, we have to hold them accountable. And I'm just not a fan of Kaya being taught every Monday that, using such words as tranny, this and that, and you're not a part of that community is problematic. I think she needs to understand that. And I'm just not here for just T.S. Madison just saying, well, girl, don't say that. Don't say that. I need for her to beat her ass when she says that. She's like, Kyle, you need to shut the fuck up.
And that's what Quadair said. I don't know if y'all follow Quadair, but that's what he pretty much said. He said the same thing. He's talking about she needs to check. She needs to check her when she be on air saying stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Quadair ended up saying that?
Yeah, he has a commentary on his he went in on Kyle for about like 45 minutes on his channel, brand, because he got two channels. Wow. Yes, y'all need to go watch that.
We know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I think Monique, she knew what she was doing, like, because I kind of seen her smirking a little bit when she kept that Periscope going live. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Monique got to do what she got to do. She went into this probably with the advice of a PR agent. She really knew what she was. She said, I'm prepared. She had everything like Cersei from Game of Thrones. She had a game plan for everything. I think, she knew what she was doing.
She's always had her phone and did Periscope. She's always had her phone and had the Periscope going. So her Periscope is already running before T.S. Madison was big and Kaya to be online. So that wasn't Monique's fault. And Monique let her know, like, hey, we on Periscope. I think Monique is a person that understands how this shit works. And she said, I think that was her cue, like, girl, we live. I ain't gonna say we live, but you talking shit, but be careful of your words because we are live. You can't say everything that she wants to. She said, we just waiting, baby. And she kind of changed a little bit. She switched a little bit like, girl, she looked at the camera. But if Monique wanted to be petty, she could have been petty from the beginning. Yeah. She could have dragged him back in and said, y'all trying to drag me, but y'all shit ain't work. She could have dragged him several times, and it would have been nothing. She got her apology from T.S. Madison, and she still wanted to do the thing. But the stuff was just not, it wasn't working. And that probably was the energy that was all around the universe that came back to bite T.S. Madison Kaya in the ass. And it was like a drunk driver type of situation where the drunk driver lived and the person the drunk driver hit died. And T.S. Madison was the person, well, Kaya was the drunk driver. And T.S. Madison's fucking feelings were hurt because she wasn't expecting her to do her like that. But me and Adrian talked about that. And I just me and Adrian, I couldn't imagine me walking out on something like that. Even if this shit is collapsing in our fucking face. There's no way I'm leaving my friend, my business partner, my whatever. I'm not leaving them out to like dry like that. We're going to play this shit and we're going to cuss each other after. I'm saying, bitch, you should not brought this cheap ass shit after the camera has been cut off. Like, you know better than that. But we not going to do that on live because you never let somebody see you sweat. No matter how fucked up the situation is. Beyonce failed at the fucking Super Bowl. She got her ass right back up. And you probably thought that she was a part of the goddamn performance. You do not let people see you sweat. You don't. That's fucking 101 and being in the industry. That's 101. And Kaya has never been in the industry, so she doesn't know that. But T.S. Madison is trying to be a part of the industry, so she already knows that you're supposed to. That's why she begged her to be on there. And it just collapsed. So it blew up in their face like it was fireworks on July the 4th at 10 o'clock at night. And I wish them the best.
Well, let me play y'all something real quick because she came out today with a response to, you know, I don't know if it was today, but I think it was the past couple of days where she was talking about the whole situation. And because a lot of people was talking about her setup was raggedy and this, that, and the other. But she had a response about that. And I'm going to play that clip real quick and we're going to come back with the rest of the commentary.
DJ, play that track. Child, I know I'm looking like last night, honey. But I'm gonna put it together. I'm gonna watch this good. But let me break something down for y'all real quick. Is this thing on? First of all, let me let y'all know something. The Queen's Court has a full production in this mother. Full production. A dedicated bid for the Queen's Court. I took care of all that yesterday. So when I told you we had technical difficulties, it was because the new program that I bought yesterday to make sure that we were able to do this. This is the set. This is the set. We don't need no crowdfunding. We got all this.
No GoFundMe.
We don't need no crowdfunding. This is how I go. Monitors, cameras, lights, all of the things. Light. It was just a mishap last night. See y'all Monday, okay? The Queen's Court. Yes.
Honey, y'all ain't shit. Y'all know y'all. So she wanted
Monday, totally funded.
Honey, she said she wanted to let y'all know. She said, "Girl, we ain't running on no damn no Obama pixelated phone, honey. We got the works over here. Like we like a damn the Nado's pizza with the all the damn works with the chunks of pineapple, anchovies, everything on them." But she said we got it all over here. So I don't know. I mean, but my thing is, go ahead.
Honestly, I thought we had went back in the backtrack, the Back to the Future car, and we had saw Bill Gates and Steve, whatever his name is, to create the iPhone, build the first computer. That a lot of that shit was, it looked cute, but it was most certainly on mute. That's why this shit did not come and look cute. The setup was cute. I would give it that. The setup was cute, and it all may be. But the setup was, it wasn't. If we gonna talk shit, and I love T.S. Madison, I love her. I love every content creator, but I'm just gonna have to be honest. When that's some shit that I can buy.
Ooh.
And me and T.S. Madison are on two different fucking levels. T.S. Madison is shitting on me. She got a $500,000 house, but that's some shit I can buy. But if you're getting 20,000 people listening and watching you at one fucking time, you're gonna have to step your motherfucking pussy up, and that's in her own words. There was no like, and shit still happen no matter if you spend some money. But those months when the lighting shit was still not A1, it was not the T. It could be way better. But, you know, I just think she did not. I can tell that the shit wasn't set up because she was trying to fix shit and she should have been passing it on to somebody else. I should have been passing on my computer to somebody else and telling them, bitch, fix this shit.
Yeah, what's up?
I continue to talk to these people.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, where were all these niggas that she talking about she got produced and where was they at? Why wasn't they, like, my thing, having her on there looking a fool, what was these people at that she was, this production thing, that ain't right. If I'm paying y'all to run the shit. They were probably logging into some kind of community. They were probably logging on to some type of college online and trying to look up and see what they had fucked up on. Ooh. But the shit was just garbage as fuck. I would have passed. If I had a budget like that, I would have passed this shit on to girl, y'all fix this shit. I said, these girls gonna fix this shit. We gonna talk to y'all hoes. I'm gonna bounce my titties for y'all ass. And or we gonna be back. But they could have handled that better.
Everybody that has a business don't necessarily know exactly what the fuck they're doing. And I think T.S. Madison, you know, she's learning and stuff. But I think you kind of shoot yourself in the foot when you do talk about your budget and you talk about how much money you got, but then the production looks like shit that I see in the fucking circus or some shit. But she'll get it together. She'll learn. She'll do some stuff.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna jump to the lines because I know it's 9:20. We got about 40 minutes left, and I know some of y'all been waiting. I want to thank y'all for being patient. We have a couple of callers online. I'm just gonna open up the lines. I'm gonna go to our first caller and see if they have a comment or question about anything tonight, or if they want to speak to you guys personally. Just to let you guys know, if you want to still call in, you can. 646-915-8200. Once again, this is the Urban Wire podcast. I am Seneca Harris. You can catch us every Thursday night, typically at 7 to 9 p.m., but we started a little late tonight. And on the line tonight, we do have Justin J, and we have Adrian. And y'all can call in and give them a shout out or ask a question. So we're gonna go to our first caller, 385-329, area code 385-329. Do you have a question or a comment? And can you tell us your name and where you're calling from? You there, caller? 385-329. Yes.
Am I on the line?
Yeah, you on the line. Can you tell us your name and where you calling from? Okay. Well, we're gonna get back to him. Thank you for calling. We'll get back to you in a little bit. 678-732. What's your name and where are you calling from? Wait a minute. Hold up now. Hold up, bitch. Wait a minute. That sounds like that. Oh, okay. Y'all, come on, y'all. Y'all got to come correct. Area code 864-978. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hold up, y'all. 864-978. Or you just call? Are you?
Hey, this is from Spartanburg, South Carolina. I'm just gonna say, hey, Justin, hey, Adrian, love you both, and wish you all the best luck.
All right, thank you. You have any? You have any comments or questions about anything we discussed tonight?
Not tonight.
I guess not today.
Okay. All right.
I did it for the program.
All right.
Thank you so much, boo. We appreciate it.
All right. 202-294. Do you have a question or a comment? Okay, I guess they just hung up.
They say you got them online. We ain't trying to
But yeah, I just really want to thank you guys for coming on tonight. And just telling us a little bit about your platform. Do you guys have anything else coming up that you would like the audience to know about? I know you guys were saying that you guys are going to be flying out to New York here in the next week or so. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, well we're really excited because the Grapevine TV. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it or if the people listening have heard of it, but it's a pretty well-known web series that talks about. It's like a panel kind of series that focuses on millennials, Black millennials, and talks about the issues that we face in society. So they our good supporters actually reached out to them and said, "Hey, y'all need to have Justin and Adrian on the panel." And so they reached out and we set things up. It's in the works. It was in the works for a little while, so we're excited. We're really excited.
That's wonderful. I'm really proud of you guys. So what do you have to say about dealing with haters? Like, 'cause I know, it's people that are out there, because I know you guys dealt with your share of haters. Like, how do you deal with that? And how have you kind of evolved from like how you used to respond to it and to how you respond to it now? Like, how do you guys deal with haters?
I would consider it just people who are just commenting necessarily on the conversation, or the things that are going on. Like that would I think some of them can go about a better way if they want to maintain a certain type of viewership. But you do what you do. I at this point I know that anytime I open up my mouth or say some certain things, that I can be the trending topic that I'm talking about. So if I speak on a certain issue or something, my platform is big enough at this point for someone to say, "Hey, let me talk about it." It's not necessarily like what I said. It might be because this person's platform is bigger. And
right.
I want to get my voice out there. So at this point, I think I used to respond to people, but it's just like, it's always going to be there. And I'm not going to allow the people who do that, make me feel some type of way, or always feel like I can clap back at them, because these are people, they are not necessarily haters, but they're supporters in disguise.
Yes.
And I think they realize that. So I appreciate them so much. They keep the conversation going, and they keep me on my toes.
And my thing is, they still giving you likes and they're giving you views. My thing is like, if you really dislike what somebody's doing and you don't like their content, why do you keep tuning in to see what they're up to? That's just I've always found that asinine. It's just ridiculous. Like, you claim to hate this person's content, is bootleg, is ghetto, is this, is that, they're this, they're that, but they can always tell you everything that you're doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And all they're doing when they tune into your videos, they're giving you more likes and they're giving you more revenue. They're giving you views. So it's one of those things. You just got to take it with a grain of salt. That's how I interpret it. You know what I'm saying? And they wish they were in your shoes. Like, you have to consider the source. Anytime you're dealing with people that have negative things to say about you, consider the source. Like, look at where you're at and look where they're at. If they're not even on your level, then why should you even take any consideration of what they have to say or think about you? And that's just how I feel about it. Yeah.
That's normally what it is. But we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we thank you so much for having us on here today.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. I know you guys probably because I know you guys probably are busy, and I just want to thank you guys. I want to be considerate of your time and stuff like that. And I want to thank the callers that did call in. I think we have one more. I'm gonna see who this is real quick, and then we're gonna wrap up the show. We got two more that just joined. Area code 937-304. You're online right now. Can you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
Hey, this is Brielle, and I'm from Ohio.
Hey, Brielle.
Hey, Brielle.
Oh my goodness. Am I talking to Justin J and Adrian Expressions for real?
Yes.
For real.
This ain't no knockoff stuff
Oh
now.
my goodness. Oh, this is very, very exciting. I just want to let y'all know that you two are so funny. Y'all make my day. I've been following y'all for years now. I'm going to make it down to Atlanta next time y'all have an event. So I just want to show y'all that I appreciate y'all, that I love y'all, and God bless.
Thank you. That's sweet.
Yeah, we appreciate you, honey. Thank you. From the Ohio.
All right, Ohio. What part of Ohio are you
I don't know
from?
what part of Ohio you're in.
I'm in the central area, Columbus.
Oh, okay.
Did y'all get to not too long ago? She sound like Olivia Pope. She sound like Olivia Pope. Because I still be keeping my job.
I'm actually at work, y'all. So I want to give y'all a quick shout out.
All right, thank you. You have a wonderful night. Thank you for calling. All right.
You too. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, we got one more caller, y'all, and then we're gonna let y'all go. Area code 864-978.
That's South Carolina.
Oh, ooh, come on, South Carolina. We go to honey, we can get this caller. Okay.
I think it's South Carolina. 864?
Yeah, 864. Area code 864-978. You're on the line. Do you have a question or a comment? Or are you just listening?
Yeah, that is like. Where's Eastern? Where is it? Knoxville?
Well, it's me again. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, you good. You good. Okay. All right. I think we got a couple more calls, but honey, that was the one with the babysitter and the one with the AOL connection. They still online, but yeah. But yeah,
one more call is try to see.
Okay, yeah, we could try one more time. Let's see. Let's go one more again. Area code 6. Ooh.
That was the one that was on the fax machine. That's the one that's on the fax machine. Right. It's the dial-up connection.
Okay, we got another caller. 202-294. What the hell? Let's try this one. 615-957. Do you have a question or a comment? Or you just listening?
Hi, this is Michelle. I'm calling from Nashville.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Nashville.
That's right.
Do you have a question or a comment? You're talking to Justin J. And Adrian.
Yes, I love Justin. I love Justin and Adrian. I support both of y'all channels. I'm always checking for an update. I love the podcast.
Yes.
I just love my black YouTubers. My black YouTubers, I watch all day. So whenever I'm at work, I'm watching and I'm listening. I love y'all.
Yeah, we gotta definitely support one another.
I appreciate you supporting the podcast. We really appreciate it.
Yes. I know it's something to get used to the podcast.
No, I keep going with the podcast. I love just listening. I don't even have to have video because I know some people said they wanted the video. I'm fine with just listening to y'all talk. I can listen to y'all talk for hours, so it don't matter to me.
Good to know. Well, thank you, Mr. Nashville. We appreciate you having so much continue to build the podcast. And we appreciate people like you supporting us and making us continue to grow.
Yes. And I just wanted to say something about the church. I definitely grew up in the church. My mother and father both, they're not, pastors, but they're definitely heavy in the church. And I don't go to church anymore. I still believe, in God, but I do not go every week. So I definitely get that pushback from my parents, some of my friends, because they're still heavily in church, but it's just not me anymore. So I'm not religious, I'm not spiritual, but I still believe in God. I know God is there. But I'm not one of those people that judge people. That's why I enjoy watching all kinds of people. And, you know, listening to because it's taught me stuff, because there's not a lot of people that are, you know, in the community, like y'all said. I have a few friends that are gay, but, you know, in Nashville, it's not like it, you know, it's not like Atlanta. It's definitely not like Atlanta.
Right.
But, I have friends from all kinds of walks of life. So it's hard, because I have to try to, like, you know, be one way toward my parents. I'm like, you know, I still believe in God. They're like, why aren't you in church? I don't want to go to church. I'm grown.
Okay.
I pay my bills. You know, I pay my own bills. I'm here. We pay our own bills. I totally understand about that first thing. So I'm so glad to have y'all to listen to, because it's like an outlet from what's going on in the daily struggle. Like they say, the everyday struggle, I definitely have that. So I enjoy y'all.
All right.
Thank you, most definitely, Boo. You appreciate you so much, and you have a wonderful night tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
Yeah.
You too, Boo.
All right. Well, one more time before we close out, can you tell us both of your channel information? Tell us about your websites and the podcast.
Justin, you want to go ahead?
Well, we are on blogosphere.com. You can make sure we tune in to every Tuesday we put a new episode out. Usually it's that morning we talk about the various topics, a lot of things. So you might want to tune in and check us out. Also, we have our own brands as well, that we do you know, updates on things that are going on in pop culture and things that are going on in society. So you can make sure you check us out. So especially with me, if you want to find me, you can follow me on Twitter, Justinj1232. And you can make sure you're checking out TuneRelease.com for all the latest celebrity news and gossip and things for the culture.
All right.
Yeah, and specifically me, you can find me at youtube.com/Adrian Expression. Adrian Expression is one word, no E. And that is Adrian Expression is on across all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, all the good stuff, Facebook, everything. So yeah, we're excited. We're excited to get this.
I was going to ask
2018 going.
Yeah, I gotta ask y'all a question about Black Gay Pride. Like, is that on Labor Day weekend? Because me and Jonathan were thinking about coming down there on Labor Day weekend. Like, do you think, like, is there a lot to do that weekend? Because I want to check. Yeah, I want to check out Atlanta and probably even meet up with y'all like while I'm down there.
Are you going to the sex party?
Going to you never know now. I might go to the boom boom room. You never know. I'll meet you at the boom boom room. No, I was playing, but nah, I really just want to go down there and just be like, just experience the culture down there. I've always like followed a lot of people from ATL and stuff like that, Atlanta, a lot of popular YouTubers and content creators. So I really want to get down there and just see what the buzz is about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's just, you know, Atlanta's always been a place where I've you know, want to check out and stuff like that. So I'm gonna check it out Labor Day weekend to see what is, you know, what's popping down there and stuff. So I don't know.
It's definitely a thriving city, I'll tell you that.
It's very thriving. But we appreciate it, Seneca. Thank you so much for allowing us on your platform, and we look forward to seeing you if you come down here to the sex parties.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
All right.
Downlow.